snapping turtle. This is called an alligator snapping turtle. These guys grow to be one of the biggest freshwater turtles in this world. He's pretty big right now, but this is nothing. Full grown, this guy is going to reach a size of about 250 pounds. They get huge. And they might live upwards of about 200 years. This is one of the longest living vertebrate animals we have here in North America. Now this is a wildlife presentation, but we've been trying to work some magic into the show. You guys, you like your magic out there? Anyone? Oh, like 4.5 people. Okay, well, for those 4.5 people, we've been working on this really cool magic trick. If I could get one of those volunteers to come up, put his or her finger right inside of this guy's mouth, he will magically make it disappear. Who's going to do it? You know what? Hold on one second. Let's make it really big and scary. He's a little cold, but there we go. Who's trying it? Yeah, you know what, guys? It's a bloody trick. We haven't figured out how to get that finger back yet. You let us work on that one, and maybe we can come back next year and try that out. But now that I have this guy up here, can you guys see inside that mouth? Oh, let me tickle him again. See that little pink thing in there? What's that look like? It does look like a worm. So what this guy will do, he'll go down to the bottom of a body of water. He stays perfectly still. The only thing that he does is he opens his mouth. The end of his tongue has that little extension on it that looks a lot like a worm. He dances this extension around. As fish come swimming up, what do they think that is? They think it's a worm, but instead, bam, lightning fast. He comes out, he grabs a hold of the fish. It was a cool trick all along. It was a turtle that was going fishing. When I say lightning fast, I do mean it. When these guys strike out, you almost don't even see it. And when they bite down, this is one of the most powerful bites in this world. It is around 1,000 pounds per square inch of biting pressure. Pretty much means anything that goes in his mouth, you're probably never ever going to see it again. So on that note, we're going to go ahead and let that guy go away. We're going to move on to another animal with a shell. I want you guys to get a good look at Frank the Tank here and tell me, what is he?
Turtle.
Turtle, but I didn't hear the majority of people saying
Tortoise.
He is a tortoise, and there's a difference. The turtles, you guys just met a turtle from over there. They're very flat, what we call streamlined. Turtles have a webbed foot. They need to be able to cut through and swim through the water. Tortoises, on the other hand, built for life on land. And that's why you see this big, high dome shell. It's going to protect him very well on land. You can imagine that if you're an animal coming up trying to eat him, you're probably going to have a hard time opening your mouth wide enough to crunch through that shell.
Strawberry feet.
Speaking of that shell, can you guys do me a big favor? Go ahead and feel your own fingernails. Now feel your own hair. It's all made out of the same substance. It's called keratin. Lots of big things are made out of it, and here are tortoise's shell. Now, let me properly introduce you to Frank the Tank here. He's what's known as an African spur-thigh tortoise. So I'm actually going to pick him up here so you can get a better look at his front legs here. I want you to see those big giant spikes or spurs that come out. That's how he gets his name, and it's also how he's going to protect his head and his neck. You can see that his body is very well protected with that shell, and you can imagine that if you're an animal trying to eat him, you're probably going to give up biting at that shell. You just break your teeth on it. That doesn't feel so great. You're probably going to start searching around, hoping to find something a little bit softer. If they get a hold of his head and neck, probably means game over for him. So he can do something pretty important with that head and neck. What does he do with it? He has to go inside that shell. So let's see if Frank will be afraid today. He's not so afraid because we do this a lot, but let me see. I'm big and scary, so Frank, can you be afraid? No, be very afraid, because I'm really big and scary. So, the head and neck disappear. When he is super duper afraid, he will pull those legs, boom, right up in front of his face. Those spikes or spurs protect him. He will wait for that danger to go away, and once it does, he gets to come back out. He gets to go on, live another day. And something that he's going to do all day long, besides make a liar out of me, is he's going to eat. You can pretty much think of these guys as being like a cow on a shell. They are constantly eating, mostly grasses. Therefore, what do you think is constantly coming out of this end? Oh, yeah, mostly grasses. Lots of number twos around here. As a matter of fact, he's working on one right now, so we're going to let him go off into the back. You guys should not have to witness that. We're going to move on to another reptile. And for this next reptile, oh boy, I can assure you, he's going to be in a bad mood. Sounds like Frank's done in the back. This next guy, he's always in a bad mood, so when he comes out, you're going to see him whipping around a little bit. But it's a little bit cooler today, so I don't mind. He doesn't fit me quite as much. Oh, yeah. Oh, front row gets a shower, too. what I want you to do is look at his nose. There's your shower. Nose or snout area. You're going to notice it's a little shorter, a little more rounded. Whenever he chooses to close his mouth down, you pretty much only see the upper teeth that come out from the upper jaw. So these things indicate what this guy is. It's time to vote. See if you guys have been studying up on your animals out there. Raise your hand if you think he is an alligator. Who's going with alligator? All right, decent amount of people. How about crocodile? Who's voting for crocodile? Oh, a lot also. Okay, yeah, that lady definitely said crocodile. How about maybe the caiman? That's an animal related to alligators and crocodiles. Okay, significant amount of people who just voted all 3 times, admit it. Yeah, you're very honest people, and who doesn't care at all what he is? Well, thanks for showing up today, dear. We do appreciate that. Junior, he is the American alligator. People out there got it. He's a very polite alligator, and you guys are about to see, hopefully, what an incredible animal trainer I am. Now, he's a little cold for this, but I hope this works out. Hey, Junior, can you wave hello to everyone out there? Oh, yeah, how about it? Give it up for the animal trainer. She is amazing. And Junior really likes it when you wave back, so go ahead and give him a wave back. He kind of gets insulted when you don't. So alligators, they are fascinating animals. They've been around for a really long time, pretty much unchanged, and they are perfectly designed for where they live. Have you guys noticed his nose or his nostril openings yet? Probably not, because they're on the top of his head, so if I dip him down, you might get a chance to see them. And then whenever you travel back a little bit, you run right into his eyes. Can't miss those eyes, they're pretty big. And then right behind the eyes, kind of neat, is the ear, but it's protected by a flap of skin. This allows him to drop his body down in the water, poke the top of his head up and out of the water like that. He can smell, see, and hear everything that goes on in his world. A couple other features here, but I can barely hold on any longer. Take a look at that tail. Of course, we know they use it to swim. What they really like to do is knock potential food items off of their feet as they come around in a U shape to grab a hold of them with that mouth. And that mouth, perfect, he's opening it up. Inside of there are 80 very sharp teeth. If he loses a tooth, he grows another one back in 2 weeks, does it his entire life. So he always has a nice fresh set of teeth to bite with. Unlike us, we have our baby teeth, then we get adult teeth. What do we get after our adult teeth fall out? Well, it's cavities. Dentures if you're lucky. For these guys, we go to dentures in the wild. So if they could not always replace those teeth, they would absolutely starve to death. They would not be able to grab a hold of food items, tear off chunks, and swallow them down. I can't do it any longer. What do you say when an alligator races by to you? No, what do you say? Help me out here, guys. Get over here, alligator. Okay, we got to get him back in some water here, and we are going to move on to our last reptile. And this last reptile, oh yeah, you're going to like it because it's everyone's favorite reptile. What would that be?
Snake!
Snakes! Show of hands, who loves snakes? Show of hands, who hates snakes? All the adults hate them, all the kids love them, but a lot of times you just don't understand them. You guys are really not ready.
That's a huge snake.
This is Lady. Lady, she's what's known as a red-tailed boa. Being a boa, this makes her a constrictor, and as Mac brings her around, you guys are going to get a closer look at her. She's going to be constantly doing something, and that is sticking out their tongue. What is she doing whenever she's sticking out her tongue? Smelling, tasting the air, figuring out what's going on in the world. So
That's a huge snake.
Our things got a little wild and crazy. You guys ready to
I'd love to have that big snake. I'd love to have that big.
It's very simple to do that. All you have to do is go ahead and put on a set of bunny ears. Let me see kids out there.
Man, wouldn't get that
All right,
big.
you're cute little bunnies.
No.
You're hopping around. You're having this great
Most
day.
I thought.
Your day just got really bad because here comes Lady. She sticks out her tongue. She smells you and thinks, I'm going to eat you. That's bad news for you that will only get worse. She uses her tongue to kind of guide herself, like a map, to get near you. And once she's right next to you, how does she get a hold of you to stop you from hopping away? Because what? She can't grab you yet, but she has to bite you. Inside of her mouth are 100 razor-sharp teeth, all curved backwards like hooks. So when she wants you down into place, you can't hop away. So as this cute little bunny, you're going, oh boy, that really hurts. My life just got really bad, but it gets instantly worse.
How huge the snake
right
is.
after the bite comes the wrap, then the squeeze. And what she ultimately does is she never lets you exhale or let your breath out. So we have to try that. Where'd my bunnies go? You guys still out there? All right,
That
bunnies,
is
do me a big
huge.
favor. Take a deep breath in. Don't let it out. Take another breath in. Don't let it out. Take another breath in. Do not exhale because she's not going to let you, she's squeezing tighter. She's not going to let you have your oxygen even though you want it. So go ahead and take another breath in. You're starting to struggle. You're feeling tingly. You want your oxygen. Take another breath in. You raise your hand if you're going to pass out. All the Packers fans, go ahead and pass out. Just kidding. Go ahead and breathe. Everyone okay out there?
Yeah.
Anyone need an ambulance? No, okay. Sir, yeah, it appears like you're not the right color, but eventually just take a couple deep breaths and you're going to get all your color back, okay? In the end, that's how she gets her food. You don't have to love snakes. You don't have to want to walk up and do anything with them. It is so simple. You can turn, walk away, leave them alone, let them do their job. And that is eating up lots of rodents. Not so fun for the rodents, but if you don't let animals eat up other animals, that's not allowing nature to do what it does. So snakes do a great job eating those rodents up, controlling their numbers. Otherwise, you have mice and rats chewing through your wiring in your house, crawling around in your food, going to the bathroom, and you know that's not a whole ton of fun. But this allows me to move on to my next grouping of animals. My next grouping of animals, the closest living relatives we have today to dinosaurs. Any guesses out there? Birds. Birds is the correct answer. And this first bird, his name is Max, and Max is a European eagle owl. The owls have the distinction of being the largest species of owl in the world. The girls actually get bigger than the boys, so his wife back at home, Helga, she's 2 pounds bigger than what he is. So when I say that, biggest owl in the world, and you see this massive bird, who wants to guess how much this guy can weigh? Oh, don't give it away if you've been in another show. Let me hear some numbers. Who said 65? Sir, thank you. You made me the strongest woman in the world. I do appreciate that. Less than 65 is less than 60. Less than 40. Less than 25. Less than 10. He's 5 pounds. He's over 5 pounds. I know he looks huge, but you have to think about this. He needs to be able to get off the ground, get in the air, stay in the air, and not burn up a ton of calories doing that. He has to be lightweight in order to be efficient. Why? Now that he's been out here for a minute, I want to ask you guys, have you noticed his eyes? I hope you have, because they're huge. You cannot miss those eyes. If we had eyes as big as his are, or as big as we grow to be, ours would be the size of grapefruits. Can you imagine that? Next time you guys are eating a grapefruit, which will probably be never, go ahead and hold that grapefruit up to your face. And imagine having eyes that big. Imagine how hard it would be to just be poking yourself in the eye all the time. And if you guys picked up on this one very distinct thing that he cannot do with those eyes, you have not seen him do it because he can't. We can do it, he can't. He will blink just not as often as we do, but the eyes don't. They don't move. They don't move. So if you guys do this with me, keep your head perfectly still. Go ahead and look up, down, left, right. Roll your eyes around. He can't do that. He doesn't have an eyeball like us. He has what's called an eye tube. And it's such a big feature, consuming a really big portion of his head, there's not room left over for movement. So when he wants to see something, you'll see him moving his entire head. And it does go almost all the way around. It's 270 degrees. And it pretty much means he can turn around, look at his own butt. Can anyone out there do it? Turn around and see your... You know what? Don't admit it. I'm sorry. That was so not a fair question. Don't admit it. Not fair on my part. I need to learn better. And before Max goes away, I'm going to have him pop up these wings here so you can see his wingspan. It is about 5 feet across. Pretty cool to see. Yeah, I know. Super cool. Now his wife's being so much bigger. Hers is 7 feet. But the problem with her, she doesn't like me, so I can't bring her out to programs. All right, we're going to go ahead and duck off into the back. Super cool animal. They did a great job. But we're going to move on to our next bird. And this next bird, she is tiny in comparison to Max, but she has a really big voice. Now, with all that she is capable of making, I can't force her to make it. I can only encourage her, and I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to get terribly offended whenever I make this sound, so I'm hoping that if I can't get her to make the call, maybe you guys can take over, call the house, so I don't pass out here. Now, the cute little bird that you're meeting, her name is Dawn, and the name Dawn, it is not the nicest name for this cute little girl. We were actually told she was a boy when she first came to us, so I do apologize for that one. I'm going to go right in to try to get this call. Bear with me here. I have to click off my mic. I hope this goes well. twice in a show. As a matter of fact, her show, for training purposes, I only ask for 1 call per show. She did it 1 time yesterday. She did it 1 time today. 2 calls per show. Don't know what it is about this area. Apparently she wants to move here. You guys must be special people out there, so give yourselves a round of applause. I don't know what. I thought like it was some kind of union thing, contractual thing, like 1 call per show, and I couldn't ask for any more, but apparently things are changing. Now, not only was that a super cool sound, but you guys should definitely recognize that because we call it the quintessential jungle sound. So if you're ever watching TV, movie, cartoon, and they want you to believe that someone's in the jungle, they play the soundtrack of what is called a... Anyone know what she is? She's a kookaburra. And the strange thing about her, she comes from Australia, nowhere near the jungles of Central Africa or Central and South America. Where you'd expect to hear that jungle noise that comes out of this tiny little Australian bird. In Australia, they are considered a nuisance. Imagine that being your alarm clock every morning. Yeah, kind of problematic for some people. All right, you guys got to hear the call of the kookaburra. I'm delighted. She's going to hop off into the back, and we're going to move on to our last grouping of animals. This last grouping of animals, same kind of animal that we're considered. Does anyone know? What are we? Who said monkeys? We're not monkeys. What are we? Mammals. Okay, yes, we're mammals, I think. Now, I'm so confused. You have me thinking we're monkeys, but this first mammal, oh boy. You have to excuse him. He's extremely nocturnal. He does not even know he's awake right now. This is Orville. There's a reason he got the name Orville. Let me put it down here. Slow motion. And I hear people out there saying, what is that thing? Any guesses out there? A what? He is a bear cat. I think you guys have been coming to a couple of the shows. Now, bear cat, that's just his nickname. His technical name is a binturong, and that is spelled B-I-N-T-U-R-O-N-G, binturong. But they get this nickname bear cat because when they move around, they look a lot like a bear. When they're happy or excited, they purr like cats. They have whiskers that are quite cat-like, and a long tail like a cat, so that's where this strange nickname comes from. Now, his name Orville is for a reason.
Smells like popcorn. They smell like popcorn.
You guys picking up on anything now that he's out here?
Smell like popcorn.
They do smell like popcorn. There are scent glands all over his body. They emit an oily substance that smells a whole lot like popcorn. So guess what I get to smell like all the time? Popcorn! Yeah, it doesn't matter what I do, no matter what, I smell like popcorn. And speaking of smelling, one thing Orville likes to do when he comes out is he likes to smell my head. It's kind of been bitter off how he confirms that it's me. He also likes to lick inside my ears, so if you guys will give me like 5 minutes, I really like that, so I'm going to let it go on for that amount of time. You guys can just talk amongst yourselves. He also likes to smell my breath. Don't know why. It has to be pretty disgusting right about now. But he just needs that confirmation by smelling to know that it's me. And if he were to meet you the first time ever, if you did not offer up your head for him to smell, he would shred your clothes from your body. Not being mean, just trying to pull you down to smell the top of your head. He needs to be able to smell to greet you that things are okay. In that massive tail back there, and once again I do apologize, he's in such slow motion, and about 8 o'clock at night he wakes up and he's a whole lot of fun. But that long tail, this is the largest prehensile tail mammal in the world, so that technically means that he can hang from that tail. But animals that get this big, and he's like about 40 pounds, his wife is huge, she's 90 pounds. They don't often hang their full weight down from the tail, but what they do in Southeast Asia, where they're from, is they live up in the trees and rarely even come to the ground. So the tail comes into play, they wrap it around the branches, it secures them up there, just makes it less likely they're going to fall. And before he goes away, you guys see me using a banana with him up here, but this is a true omnivore. What do you eat when you're an omnivore? Do you want to know? You eat plants? You eat meat? You eat bananas? You should technically eat every and anything. Orville's a little particular and a little sophisticated. He refuses to eat all rodents. He kind of crosses his front legs and tells us, I don't do rodents. And he should eat vegetables, but he doesn't. He hates all vegetables. So, as I'm putting Orville away, I need the kids to help me with something. On the count of 3, when I pick him up and count to 3, I want you to tell him this line. You're going to say, Orville, broccoli is not poisonous, okay? So give me 1 second here. Let me see if I can scoop him up. Come here, crazy man. Come here. Believe it or not, he can be quite active, quite fast, and quite crazy. He's just in slow motion. All right, guys, he's going to wave goodbye. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, tell him. He just said yes, it is. So apparently I'm not going to get anywhere with the broccoli. All right, let's see if the man's going off into the back. what he is. But I'm going to tell you his name. You're going to figure this out. His name is Prickles. What do you think he's going to be?
Porcupine.
Porcupine. But it's not any old porcupine. Prickles is an African resident porcupine. They grow to be the biggest porcupine in the world, the largest rodent in all of Africa. And in Africa, these guys are absolutely fearless. They will back down. Full-grown lions, leopards, hyenas. These are other big animals, big predators. You would think they would make a meal out of this porcupine in a second. It's not the case. It's pretty simple. All he has to do is pick up these quills, run backwards in the direction of his threat, and he just pokes anything that he can poke on the way. So when a big 500-pound lion ends up with a face full of quills, that lion does not have the ability or the dexterity to pull those quills out. And that's how they can die from infections related to this relatively small animal. Now, believe it or not, quills, it's just hair. It's just modified hair. Hair that got a little thicker, a little stronger, a little longer, ended up with that pointed end. And he sheds these quills out just like we shed our own hair. I used to throw the quills away, but then I went to Africa and I realized, well, they're kind of a cool thing to have. They're used for lots of reasons, mostly decorative purposes these days, but I started collecting my quills. So I have a nice collection back there, and I was going to give one away to someone out there who thinks he or she would be able to spell the word porcupine for me. So I know you guys are out of school. You don't have to do spelling class anymore, but let me see. Raise your hand if you think you can spell it. Now, don't have your parents help you because they'll just mess it up, okay, guys? So let's see. Can you do it here? Letter by letter. You guys let me know if the porcupine's trying to attack me because he sneak attacks. So let me hear this. P. That's a good start. O. R. Okay. This is where it gets hard. Cross your fingers, cross your toes, you can do this. Did you say C? You got it? Okay, so P-O-R, C. Oh, not an E yet. We're going to save that for the end. So P-O-R. C. U. How did you get that? Good job. P-I-N-E. Oh, you're supposed to tell me when the porcupine's going to attack me. Good luck, guys. How did you get that so well? Like you were stuck for so long? What? Oh, wait. You're all screaming at me. He was a sign? No, honey. That sign up there, you're young. And I realize, okay, it says wild world of animals. Oh, is it like the globe? No, it's confusing. I don't even understand what's going on now. You did it. Awesome job. Come down to the front of the fence line. She's going to bring your quill. Where are your parents at? Mom, is it okay that I give your child a weapon? No problem. All right, guys. I think Prickles got put away. You guys were trying to let him get me there. He didn't even tell me he was at my ankles. You don't understand what that animal's capable of doing. He's one of the meanest ones we have. All right, it's time for that next mammal. And that next mammal, it's everyone's favorite mammal.
Monkey. The monkey.
Monkey. It's monkey time. It's monkey time. That means it's crazy time. So we need to give this monkey something to do. If you don't give monkeys something to do, they will find something to do. And it's usually inappropriate and not that fun for the person up here working. So that's something to do. Food, we know that's a fun thing to do. Banana, just put down a piece. We know monkeys love bananas. That's a given. Next, you never leave home without marshmallows if you have wild animals. So let's put a marshmallow down. And alligators do? Sir, you hit your head today as well as this one. The two of you should just go to the hospital before the show ends. Lastly, what do I have going on here?
M&M's.
Seriously, M&M's? Does that seem crazy? I don't know. Let me pour out some M&M's. And, oh, that's probably way too many. But we're going to put the M&M's in the middle. So let's take a vote. Who says, raise your hand if you think this monkey's going to come out here and immediately go for banana, the safe choice. We know monkeys love bananas. Apparently this guy thinks alligators love bananas. Or marshmallows. Okay. Next in line, M&M's, chocolate. Ladies, it's a food group. You have to be with me on this. If we do not have our chocolate, we will kill someone, right? All right. Lastly, marshmallow. You guys, you people, now I don't say that in an offensive way, vote for marshmallows more than any other part of this country. I swear to you, you love your Rice Krispie treats up here, don't you? Yeah. You're a marshmallow fan. All right. So, let me go ahead and get this guy ready. You guys pay attention. attention for the first thing that he eats. Now, pay close attention.
Bubba.
He may grab
Bubba.
something first,
It looks
watch
like him.
the first thing that he actually puts in his mouth. All right, he's already tearing up the stage, backstage, scared porcupine. Yep. All the way up there. Sometimes he likes to make a liar out of me. The chocolate is typically 90% of the time it's chocolate. However,
You got strawberry. Strawberry.
He did eat the banana first, and I think he picked it up first. Then, of course, you have to chase banana with chocolate.
Strawberry in his mouth.
So the M&M's went in. Then he snagged the marshmallow up, which is just hilarious because he does not even like marshmallows. Unless it's the marshmallows in Lucky Charms, and he'll eat those up all day long, but he doesn't really like regular marshmallows. The reason he's eating everything is because that means you can't have it, I can't have it, no one else is allowed to have his stuff. He will even eat stuff he does not like just so that no one else can get it, because that's how monkey brains work. They are jealous, selfish, greedy, vindictive, manipulative, destructive. It goes on and on and on. Any negative word you can come up with, you could apply that to a monkey. But he's actually being sweet right now, and he's asking me to groom him. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start looking through his hair, and I'm looking for bugs and dirt, dry skin. When I find something, I'm supposed to pick it off and, of course, eat it. Oh, those are good bugs. And when I'm doing this, I'm supposed to lip smack. And lip smacking sounds like a kissing noise.
That's what Bubba does.
Just like that. And if you ever watch a program about monkeys, or if you ever travel anywhere and you see them in the wild, all day long you see their lips just going. They're just letting the other monkeys know, hey, I want to groom with you. It's how they stay bug free. Now he'll return the favor and groom me. I just can't offer up my head, especially down to him, because he will rip this microphone right off of my head. But when he grooms me, it's quite painful, because anything on my body, freckle, mole, scab, scar, acne, varicose veins, I'm a monkey's dream. Anything he finds that doesn't look like it belongs there, if he cannot pick it off, he will bite it off. Have you guys ever had a mole removed by a monkey? And I don't recommend it. Yeah, just let the doctor do that. These guys are not so nice about it. Looks like Mac has a few of his toys over there. Oh, you know what? Yeah, we have to take a time out, give him some G2. You know, it's kind of a warm day, and he's probably getting overheated. And you want a drink? Some G2? Or not? Just make a complete liar out of me? Here, let me give you some G2. They like things just like we do. People drinking out of things just like we do. I want you to watch, and once he chugs this all down, I'm not going to directly give him the G2 bottle unless he rips it out of my hand. But I want you to see how their brains work in that everything is there. So if I try to take this bottle away, there we go. That's now, this is my baby. This is my hand-raised baby. But that is how that brain works. That's his. Everything you have on up there is his. And if you try to take it from him, he's going to let you have it. Now, this monkey is capable of tearing me apart. He's not going to do it because he knows there are some but, of course, reach past the toy for you. But he's definitely going to deliver some action to let you know, don't like what you're doing, and I'm going to stop you from doing that. For a toddler, you tell them no, and they might stomp their feet and pout. These guys, when you tell them no, and they don't like to be told no, their response is boom, on you with teeth and scratching you and biting you and poking you and prodding you and pulling out your hair. So after hearing all this delightful stuff, who out there wants a monkey?
Yeah, I do.
Seriously, guys, you just watch that all play out and you think you want a monkey. You guys are all crazy. If you took him home for like 5 minutes, it would be fun. Then you'd beg me to come back and take him back with me. Yeah, that's how crazy. He will tear your house apart. Don't eat the porcupine quill. Come on, let's go. We gotta go. It's time to go. Come on. Come on. Leaving the stage is a whole ton of fun. It's kind of like leaving Chuck E. Cheese. Do you guys have Chuck E. Cheeses up here? Like, yeah. So, like, not a whole ton of fun. You just drag your kid out, kicking and screaming. Come on, we gotta go. Put your shoes on. Let's go. Get out of the ball pit. Oh, boy. Look out, because this is actually a big cat ball, so it's heavy. So if he throws this, duck, please, because when it hits you in the head, it's not going to feel so good. You're not going to be able to carry that backstage. Come on, we gotta go. We gotta go, Joe. We gotta go. He's like, if I can't carry it, I will roll it backstage. Like a bowling ball. Oh boy, this is taking a away because we don't have added like 10 pounds. So we're going to put the cat back here. We can go back and bring that ball out. I'm going to attempt to put this guy away. You're probably going to hear a monkey throw a fit because I can't lift him and his ball up into his enclosure here. All right. All right, so I think that I just have lots of bite marks, but I'm not technically bleeding yet, so that's a good thing because we do have one more animal to share with you guys. You're going to meet a cat. You're meeting a cat that is classified as a big cat. Now, there's only, well, hold on, there's only 4 big cats in this world. We have lions, tigers, leopards, and
Jaguars.
jaguars. Those are your 4 big cats. Lions, tigers, leopards, jaguars. Everything else is a small cat. So, give me 1 second here. Let me show you the big cat you're going to meet. Her name is Mabaka, and the name Mabaka is Swahili. That is an African language. It means spots or spotted, or blemished or freckled. So, you're meeting an African animal, an African cat that is a big cat that has spots. That can only be one. Oh, it is a leopard. Here is Mabaka. Once again, an African spotted leopard. Pound for pound. One of the strongest cats in this world. And they have to be because in Africa, these guys, they're in direct competition with lions, hyenas, these are other predators that are bigger, they are social, they live together, work together, hunt together. Leopards being solitary, being on their own, they have to just be smarter, stronger, faster than the next guy just to make a living. Now when you see Mabaka here, you're going to notice her spots. Spots in nature, it is camouflage. It breaks up down on her body. She disappears into her environment. There are some times when she's laying down in the straw that I don't even see her. And I've been to Africa. I've seen leopards in the wild in Africa. And let me tell you, they are so hard to see. It takes guides and trackers with a trained eye pointing them out. And they will point them out, and you still look in the distance, and you still do not see that leopard. It's amazing how they just disappear. And she has some additional camouflage, and she's going to stand up for a treat here in a minute. Take a look at her belly. What color is it? It's white. That's just more camouflage for her because leopards, they spend a lot of time up in trees where they are safe from lions and hyenas. However, once they are up in the tree, you have to realize they have potential predators below them looking up. So do me a favor, look up in the sky. What colors do you see? Blue and white. So that white belly of hers, well, someone sees green, okay, that's fine. That white belly of hers just blends her right in with the sky, and that's how she just disappears into her environment. It's amazing how nature has worked these things out. Now, when you look at her, you're probably in your mind going, she's a big cat. I mean, she's saying she's a big cat, but she's not that big. Because it has nothing to do with size. It has to do with having the ability to roar. Big cats roar, small cats purr. Neither one can do the other, so only lions, tigers, leopards, jaguars roar. Now, a lot of times people are like, okay, so please make her roar. I can't make her roar. It's only if she wants to. And leopards, they're so quiet because they have to be. They're kind of always operating in stealth mode. Very secretive, very quiet. But you should know what this leopard roar sounds like. So I have a recording of that. We're going to play this for you. Take a listen to this leopard roar.
It's like a chainsaw.
That's a very guttural roar of a leopard. Sounds, people describe it as sounding like a hacksaw. Like that. That's going to wrap up the animals that I'm sharing with you guys for this show. I hope you enjoyed it.